Yo, what it do? What it do? Hey, oh, Ryals, and we back in the room just for you. What's good, birds? What's good, Billy? Chiefs on top. Trent, I see you fools. What's good? What's good? Man, I was just watching a couple of little videos. I wasn't able to get on earlier and do the Mark Holmes podcast. There's things I've been trying to get around the house done. While having the kids and everything, it's just timing wasn't working out. Found a time to sit down and watch a couple of videos. Dude, please get out of my video. Found time to sit down and actually get to watch a couple of videos. While I was watching them, I was like, damn, you know what? I might as well just hop on live so that I can react to these videos while I'm watching them, and then they'll at least get some live time with me. What's good, host man? What's good? What's good? No Holly Burton. Pacers are fried. Damn, that sucks. That sucks. I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, well, I was watching a video and I just figured, like I said, I should just react to it. I should just put it on live and react to it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Get into this video. This is a Rome video, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure. Yeah, Cowboys fan talk. So yeah, this is shout outs to Rome, the guy that made this channel. You can go ahead and get into this video. I've got about a minute and 43 seconds into it. I'm going to go ahead and just snap it back behind.
For real?
Yeah. All right, so context. This is Trayvon Diggs riding in a car with a content creator. I can't remember his name. He's around on a bunch of different things. I just can't think of his name off the top of my head. But he's riding around with Trayvon Diggs, asking Trayvon Diggs a few questions. Then they start talking about Donovan Izaraku, the rookie defensive end that we drafted. We'll go ahead and we'll get into it, though.
I think he might be faster than Micah.
They're saying, Trayvon says that he thinks that Donovan Izaraku might be faster than Micah. That's kind of crazy right there. Because we all know how fast Micah is.
OP, that's crazy.
And we got a kid, he went over 41. Watch out for him. He can be good. I like how he works. He worked real hard. He's fast too.
And if I'm not mistaken, number 41 is Carson. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I'm going to have to double check who's number 41.
I like that run. Would you kind of pick his brain at all? Yeah, it's been good.
And here's Donovan Izaraku right here.
We actually went to dinner last night. We had like a little D-line dinner last night. and we were just chopping up the whole time, getting to know each other. And it's been really cool. Definitely picking his brain. That's somebody, you know, you gotta learn a few things from that guy, but it's been really good. Yeah, make him pay. Nah.
They make him pay. Come on.
You love playing the right side. You love playing the left. And just he threw that in there. Okay. Yeah.
It seems like the chemistry between him and Micah so far, though, is great because they already be joking around when they talking about each other. And, you know, obviously it's all smiles here. So go ahead and get back into it.
It's the early chemistry that you guys are building in that room.
Let me know if you guys can hear or can't hear this.
The chemistry is getting really strong. We actually had a conversation about this together today. And that's something that, you know, we need to do to move forward and to be the best defensive line that, you know, we possibly can be and want to be. So, you know, that's hanging out outside of the facility, you know, picking each other's brains, holding each other accountable, you know, just chit-chatting, checking up on each other. That's something that we need to do and we're going to do. I think that's what's going to help us be successful this year.
You also said you wanted to ego this group.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you, and how did you receive that?
Nobody's above anybody. You know, we all have, you know, different successes, or we've all, you know, done certain things already in the game, or I haven't done anything. But it doesn't matter. You know, if one guy isn't going hard, we're gonna get on that guy the same way. If, you know, anybody else was not going hard, you know, everybody's, you know, equal. So that's
they treating everybody the same, and they're gonna hold everybody accountable. So hey, that's good news. What up, Wicked? What up, Walt? Where you been, brother? What's good? What's good, man? We've been missing you. Not too bad, man. I just got a ton of shit to get done. Other than I've been dealing with an injured foot. I broke a bone in my foot Thursday night. So I've been dealing. She did not. But yeah, man, I got a foot fucked up. So and I'm still having to get shit done. It's crazy because Thursday night I broke my foot. Friday I had to dig a 2-inch water main up that was leaking from McDonald's. That was interesting. All right, so I'm like holding on to a shovel on top of the hole up here, the sharpshooter. I don't know if anybody knows what a sharpshooter is. It's one of them long, narrow shovels. I had one of it stabbed in the ground up above so that I had something to hold on to while I'm using my heel, because I could push with my heel. It's just I broke a bone in my arch, so I couldn't use like the toe of my foot. I couldn't use the arch of my foot to push on the shovel. So I had to make sure I was on the heel, and then I had to make sure I wasn't slipping because it was a damn mud pot, because it was a water leak. So it was interesting. It was definitely interesting, to say the least. I got through it. I got it done. Now pushed on. Still here. I'm able to walk a little better now today. I can get around a little better, but the swellingness and the pain is all still there. I just, you know, one of a kind type guy. I try to push through shit. I don't go to doctors. I don't care about all that shit. Care what they got to say. They can wrap my foot up and take me out the game. That ain't happening. I gotta pay bills. So my ass still gotta go to work. So I'm there, broken foot and all, doing what I gotta do to make sure my job gets done. But yeah, so that's a little side story of how my week went last week. But we're getting better though. We're getting better. You pulled a hamstring Tuesday night. Damn, bro, that sucks. Sounds like everybody got hurt Thursday night. Okay, well you're dumping water on the floor over here. That's good. I'm glad you cleaned it. But you don't need to bring it all over here. Show me. I could have seen it from here. You just use soap from the scrubby brush. The scrub brush has soap in it. Damn, that sucks, bro. That sucks, man. Well, hopefully you get better. Yeah, thanks, Walt. Thanks, I appreciate it, brother. Please, Holly, come back. Huh? Okay, that's cool. I just use that as a drying rack. Actually, that's the first time I was told to anybody really, other than you in my Discord, about my foot. I've only told you that. Other than that, I haven't really mentioned it. But yes, I was bringing it up for the people that didn't know. That yes, I have a broken bone in the arch of my foot. So this outside bone here is broken. If I put both feet together, I'd have to move the camera so you could see it in the light. You'd see how much my one foot is swelled like a goddamn softball, and one foot has no swelling at all. and it's all bruised. If I take my sock off, it's ugly. It's all purple. But and I can feel it when I walk. I can feel the separation in the bone. It ain't fun, but it is what it is, man. I push through. I do what I do. I gotta pay bills, so my ass still gotta do what I do to go to work. But yeah, I'm gonna get into these videos. What, Addy? I'm not sure. It's Sunday, so it'll be a little earlier than yesterday, but still probably about 10:30. But all right, so yeah, I'm gonna get into these videos that I was watching, and we'll react to them together. That way, I give you guys a little time, and I can watch these videos all at the same time. Why you got my sock on? Then change it. If it's got a hole in it, then throw it away. But that doesn't mean put my socks on. Get a different pair of your socks. No. Dude, it's a sock. You wear your socks. Wear your. Dude, I'm not gonna say it again. What I already told you is what you need to do. Got you guys all Starlink? Hell yeah, that's dope. That's dope, Walt. Hell yeah, bro. But all right, so yeah, I'm gonna get back into this video here. Should I make this full screen and then me just a little picture in the bottom of the screen, like this? I think that's what I'm gonna do for you guys. Or should I keep it like this, where it has my name and shit up at the top? We'll do it like this. We'll do it like this. That way it all looks staged up, looks presentable. All right, back into the video, guys.
Pretty much what we mean by that.
Donovan is a rock who put work in. Let's hear what Rome has to say about it. Shout out Rome, Cowboys fan talk. Y'all like this content? Make sure you go check him out. Good dude.
Right back.
I ain't gonna lie though, if you want to get on to somebody about Dak, him like Mark Holmes, they are both Dak supporters and like big fans of Dak. You like to say that I am. I do have a Dak shirt on. It's just only, dude. It's just only because like I was just mowing the yard. I had my other shirt all sweaty. I just grabbed a shirt. It was sitting over here and threw it on. I was like, well, it's a Cowboys shirt. I'm gonna make a Cowboys video. I'll throw it on. They're gonna give me shit. It's Dak Prescott. Who gives a shit? But he does like Dak Prescott. He is a Dak Prescott fan, and just like Mark Holmes. Mark Holmes probably more so than Rome, but both of them are both Prescott fans. What up, Wyatt? What up, Noah? All right, back into it.
Like I never left. What's going on with y'all? Happy Sunday. Listen, I know training can't get here fast enough. It's the dead period. It ain't nothing to talk about. So what us content creators got to do is,
well, like hit that like button for your mama's favorite fan.
Dig deeper. Find something that we should be talking about. Today, I want to talk about our second round draft pick, Donovan Ezaraku. But before I get too far into the content, do me the biggest favor. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button. If you're already part of the family, you cartel, welcome back. Now, Donovan Ezaraku, right? Very, very,
what up,
very,
DD?
very special talent.
Welcome in, welcome in.
Literally, I've said this when we first drafted him. I said, he reminds me of Hassan Reddick.
Now, I'm going to get my take real quick. When we first drafted him, I was a little upset until I watched his tape. Once I watched his tape and realized how good of a player he actually is and how good of a character he's going to be for the team, and he's a leader, I like the pick. I just didn't want the position at where we picked it. So I don't think there was anything necessarily wrong with Donovan Ezaraku. I think he's going to be a very valuable player for the Cowboys moving forward. I just, I was looking for wide receiver. I was looking for running back. I was looking for skill position that was going to help us put points on the board. We ended up addressing that later by picking up George Pickens, all wiped clean. But that was my take when we first drafted Donovan Ezaraku. I was disappointed because of the position, but not because of the play.
And I'm sure some of y'all probably thought that was sacrilege.
What up, Nemo? I see you.
But what if he is more like Micah Parsons?
Man, they're starting to call, they're not just Rome, but they're starting to call Donovan Izaraku like Micah 2.0. Like Trayvon Diggs in that interview at the beginning of this video, and he's like another Micah. He's like another Micah. And the chemistry that him and Micah are putting together seems to be pretty phenomenal. So hopefully it translates and makes a difference on the field for the defense.
Then Hassan, man. Now I know y'all can be like, yo, Rome, you're taking it a little too far. First, you're comparing him.
Messy. How many times I gotta say it? I'm not adding moderators right now, brother. I'm just not adding any moderators right now.
To Hassan Reddick. Now you're comparing him to Micah Parsons, and he hasn't taken a snap yet. I get it. But the way this young man moves, the way he rushes the passer.
Nemo very well could get his moderator back when the football season starts. But I'm waiting until then before I add moderators. I want to see how well the start of the season goes. Huh? I'm talking to you. So I'm waiting to see how the season starts off, how the viewership looks, what we need to do, how we need to get better, and who we need to add as moderators. Obviously, Nemo, seeing that he never lost a moderator due to a disciplinary action, he lost it to losing his account. He's first in line to get the moderator back. It's just I'm not adding him until after the start of the season.
At least without.
Who's a sped? I could put that title on a couple of short bus people. You got no damn. Who's a moderator? That's that messy. Who? As the New Day would say.
I've seen from his college tape, and I won't show it because they be tripping on copyright stuff. But I did show you the clip earlier in the video.
But that'll be the last time I explain the moderatorship. It's not happening until after the start of the season. Now, it's the third time that I've said it besides today. So.
Of how he's training. And you can go back and watch that. That ain't normal speed. It ain't a camera trick in the world that can make him look that fast. He's surprisingly strong for his size. His dip and his bend is crazy. That's what I'm comparing to Micah Parsons. I needed you to at least see it visually. Just to see it. You want to go see Donovan Izaraku highlights? It's really easy to find on YouTube. Just go look it up. But because I can't show it. But his dip and his bend.
No, yeah, even his college tape, that shit'll get strikes. Every time I post clips of college tape, that shit gets strike quick.
Different. It's different. And when you heard him in the beginning of the video talk about his chemistry with Micah, it really opened my eyes. Like, yo, we might end up with one of the best pass rushes, the youngest, best, most talented pass rushes in the NFL in the next couple of years. This isn't hyperbole. This isn't like me just preaching. Look, Twisted King put up a put up a graphic on his Twitter.
There ain't shit wrong with Trent.
And the graphic really made me
it was like fake, but it was like one of those technical videos, and it was a man that was dating a man, but the man got surgery and it looked like
You got socks on?
but it was AI.
Your button changed.
I put those socks on him.
Your button changed.
I gave them to him. He says they're Ninja Turtle socks because they're green. Yeah,
they're like, well, how good is Donovan Izaraku? Right? But graphic shows the 40-yard split, 10-yard split, 3-cone, right? 20-yard split, vertical jump, broad jump, bench press. This is the comparison. This is the comparison. And then I'm gonna play a clip of VOCH, LOMBARDI, and Brian Broaddus talking about the same thing before y'all just say, well, you just talk.
What?
You overhyping things as usual. Because I know y'all love the
It's gone. It was melting.
Respect the
So yes.
eyes of Brian Broaddus, former scout.
By the time you would have got to it, ants would have been all over it. Sugar ants would have came in the sink and tried to eat
Outside
it. Boy, we ain't having all that. I washed it out.
Like the pig. Listen, 40-yard split, right? 40-yard dash. Micah's 4.36. Next level. We don't have one on Donovan. Not that I can find. I think it's around 4.4 though. 10 yard split, 1.61 for Donovan, 1.59 for Micah. Very close. 3 cone. 3.94 for Donovan, 3.94 for Micah. The same. 20 yard shuttle, 4.19 for Donovan, 4.40 for Micah. A little bit better than Micah. Vertical jump, 35.5 for Donovan, 34 inches.
Carnage, there's no point you can prove to me, brother.
For Micah. Can jump higher than Micah. Broad.
Show up, not show up. Do what you want, brother. I appreciate you when you're here. Don't always appreciate some of your conversation, but appreciate you when you're here.
Yeah. 119 inches for Donovan.
Okay, cool.
126 for Micah. That's Micah. Bench press. 22 reps for Donovan. 19 reps for Micah. Now I know underwear Olympics.
We need to get a GoFundMe to get Walt a new phone. We need to start a GoFundMe to get Walt his own phone.
Measurables don't matter. They do. But it does tell the story of why we took him. When we have an example of what those measurables can look like, if used properly on the NFL field. Micah Parsons is one of the, if not the best pass rusher in the NFL. I'll only argue with you probably about Myles Garrett. Micah's like that, right?
What are you doing?
If Donovan can become half of Micah, no teams have Micah and then a half of Micah on the other end.
What are you trying to
Like we would change the game 100%. So listen to what VOCH and Ryan Brothers had to say about what we could do moving Donovan around and how to help his team.
Man, Donovan as a rocker was like the third threat here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He has the luxury of rolling out there and Micah getting all the attention.
Right.
And then Dante Fowler's not going to get as much attention as Micah does, but Fowler's going to get a ton of respect over there, bro.
Right.
What it do, Dan? Welcome through, brother. Wait, can you grab him a pair of socks out of his basket on this up above the dryer? I guess they're wet. I don't know. He took them off. He wants his socks.
Brian, what do you think with...
You need to get something. Man. We need to get a GoFundMe up, though, for Walt. Get him some kind of electron, even if it's just a phone, just to get his ass to be here.
Coach White Patton and how evil...
I see some of the videos you be dropping. I try to hit the like button when I see them.
Is, and we know that Donovan Ezraku is going to be, because we was, with the OTA stuff.
Yeah.
We know that he's going to be deployed all over the line script. All over the defense.
Right.
Brian, I don't think this learning curve for Donovan Ezraku is going to be too bad, Brian. Because what's going to happen is, in these rundowns, he may not even have to be on the field.
Sure.
And when it's time for these pure, clear passing downs,
yeah,
he's the third, fourth threat out there, Brian.
I like what you're saying. I'll tell you what. When we were having our discussions about this, and even pre-draft, as you were doing all the work, you kind of setting them on the board, and you're thinking, why does this guy look like third or fourth best pure pass rusher in the draft? Remember we were talking about him and the guys, the Marshall kid and all that. We were kind of talking about, we had some questions about kids. But every time you mentioned Ezraku, it was
Carter, Mike Green, Ezraku.
It was like, Brian, you see the bend on that kid? See how did you see? See, that's what I'm saying. Talking to folks over there, folks, trust me, I'm not trying to always say this. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass on this one. But the thing that they feel like they stole one. They feel like that where they had him, and I'll get where they had him on that board. But they feel like they really...
No, Didi. Nemo only lost his because he lost his account. So far, you're fine, Didi. You've been in and out enough that it's not like you've been gone for a long period of time. Like if you go for months on end, at that point, then yeah. But we just have to see how it goes, Didi. Right now, you're good.
Really stole one there, but the thing that we appreciated about him as a player.
I'm good, Messi. You can keep him. You can keep Davenport.
This is why I think the learning curve will be small. This kid knows how to rush the pass. He knows how to.
That would be crazy,
He knows
Messi.
how to, yeah. He knows how to like counter moves. He knows how to.
60 pressures.
Yeah. See.
Now, when you hear that, right? You hear that. Now you heard it from experts. Now,
It was actually, it was either 65 or 66 pressures last year. Dude, I got you. Chill. Get it, bro. All right, that's fine. Yeah, definitely pass. Please.
We might have stolen us one. We just might have stolen us one. Donovan is a rocker. We might have two Micahs. And I know you can say, no, we're not going to have two exact Micahs. Micahs are one of a kind, generational type talent. But like I said, if Donovan is, let's just say he's Hassan Reddick, to have both of those on the same team, you can't do what most teams have to do, which is shift their block.
No, potential is a bad word, not a good word. You know what? You know why they say you have potential? Because you're the guy that ain't got the it factor. Because the people that have it, they get told they have it. The people that don't, you're like, well, they got potential. Potential is like having your glass half empty or half full. It's not a positive, it's not a negative, but it always comes across with a negative light. So, and Micah Parsons with DJ Reader isn't even a thought.
Blocking to Micah, chip Micah, put lots of resources on stopping Micah.
You'd have to give us Aiden. You'd have to give us Aiden. And I honestly, I don't think Aiden's value equals Micah's either. So maybe Aiden and Gibbs. You give us Aiden and you give us Gibbs, we'll give you Micah.
Then you do that to Donovan and leave Micah by himself. But the fact that we have Dante Fowler is when it gets crazy. Fowler on the edge, as a rock on the edge, move Micah around like a chess piece, or Micah on the edge, Fowler on the edge. Now we can move as a rocker around like a chess piece, meaning you don't know where it's coming from, which is one of the biggest things that help football teams have success. That one is a surprise, not knowing how to game plan for it. Now, in the first year, I'm going to give him a bit of a, not a pass, but I'm not going to expect him to come out here and be Von Miller, Michael Carson.
I'll give him some.
None of that stuff.
If he don't get a pass, he's a first-round draft pick. He might have a little grace because we understand there's a learning curve. But at the end of the day, you're a first-round draft pick because you can come in and make a difference. We don't want someone like a Mozzie, which Mozzie would be fine had we drafted him in like the 4th round. Nobody would care about what Mozzie's doing because Mozzie is an average defensive tackle. He's not a good, and he got better, so he's not the worst last year. He was the worst in, I think, 1 or 2 categories, but other than that, he was about average.
The first year, we get what we can from. We get rookie. That's why we have Dante Fowler. Oh, the second year going forward, we might be cooking. Michael will be turning 27, genuinely starting to head towards his prime. And Donovan will be right behind him a couple of years. Our biggest problem.
Messi, I wouldn't give Michael Parsons for less than Aiden and Gibbs. Or Aiden and the wide receiver. Well, we don't need the wide receiver anymore. It would have to be Aiden and some O-line player or something. It'd have to be your top defensive player. We're not going to give you our top defensive player for one of your average players. That just ain't how it works. Value is not there. We would need your top player. And since our top player is notches above your top player, there has to be some other compensation to go with it as well.
Our biggest problem is one thing. And I know y'all saying I'm getting ahead of the gun. It happens. How we gonna pay for it? But look at your boy, Mr. Roman. Y'all let me know y'all put in the comments. Like I said,
Nemo, Goff and Dak are the same. Difference is Dak has a little more athleticness to him. Dak is a little better on this run and on the scramble than Goff, but they're the same damn player.
I know it's this time of year where we're gonna over-evaluate the roster over the next 30 days, and that's
All right, so that's that clip on Donovan. I think there was another. Yeah, let's listen to this. I don't know if this is about Donovan or not,
minicamp,
but we'll
OTAs,
see.
and rookie minicamp as well. And over the past couple of
But I like seeing this. You got Micah out there, you know, even with his contract still being underway, not getting done yet, he is out there with the team, and he is leading. He run the drill first. Look, this is what we're looking for. You can see as he's going back to the line of players, he is also explaining to them. That's good. I like to see my leader doing that. He's leading.
weeks, and honestly, the past month of practices, they have seen, this coaching staff has seen a couple of guys that are really starting to stand out and are positioning themselves.
He's going at full force and up
break
next
out
extra ball.
this season for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, in part one, we talked about
Aaron White cotton out there getting it grooving. Hey, where the hell? My bad, chat. My bad, chat. Let me back up. My bad. I didn't know I clicked that button. Yeah, Damone Clark's not a bad linebacker, actually. The problem we had with Damone Clark is he fell down our depth chart. We ended up getting Overshawn. Yes, he's hurt, but we also got Kenneth Murray and Jack Sanborn now who are balling. And then we can't forget about Maris Lulafau. They all took a step over DJ Clark, unfortunately. Or Damone Clark, not DJ Clark. Damone Clark. So that he fell down our depth chart. So, I mean, other than that, he played good. There was I can't remember if it was stopping the run that he struggled with. There was one thing that he kind of struggled with a little bit. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was tackling. I think it was stopping the run. But that's it. I think that was just due to him not having full playing time.
and are positioning them
Or having good D line in front of him. Because he was never clean. He always had a O lineman blocking up on him.
themselves to potentially break out this season for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, in part one,
How you forget about Pickens?
we talked about Kaiir Elam, as well as some other guys. But in this video, there's a couple of other ones that I wasn't able to mention. So what I'm going to do in this video is break down.
I'm fine without DJ Reader, but if they cut him, we'll pick him up, I betcha. I don't know that we'll make a trade offer for him, but if you guys end up cutting him for some reason, who knows? One of these young guys on your team may step up and show out. They may cut him for a cheaper deal. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I'm not here wanting to really make a trade for him.
Down another couple of players.
Unless it's a late round draft pick. If it's a late round draft pick, you're talking 5 or 6, then we'll work. But past that, I'm not giving too much into it. I'm not giving too much into the Cowboys really picking up anybody else, even if I would like them to, because I just don't think that they're going to. I think that the Cowboys have picked up who they have, and they're satisfied with what they've done this offseason, and I am too, as an extent, because of what I've been dealt with from the Cowboys in the past, doing absolutely nothing. So, yes, not all the picks were pretty picks or glamorous picks that we picked up this offseason, but they were all picks that we needed. We needed depth players on different positions because, as we saw last year, when our stars went down, the drop-off was drastic, and we couldn't do shit. So we needed people behind our starters that were going to be solid players. And we were also looking for a certain mindset, a certain character aspect. If you noticed, a lot of the people we brought in were people that were first-round talents, first-round draft picks, maybe didn't quite live up to their draft pick, but also they're still young and they may just not have been in the right system. We're just kind of hoping that they fit our system a little better. Kyrie Elam, Solomon Thomas, and is it Nathan Turner, something like that, the defensive end. But those three players, I think that we'll have a lot of work. We'll get some good work out of them. Now, Jack Sanborn and Kenneth Murray, they've been showing out in training camp. The two linebackers that we picked up, and honestly, Kyrie Elam has kind of shown out a little bit as well. So there's a positive side on that. Back to the video.
Again, are positioning themselves to be huge X factors for this Cowboys team going into the season. However, before we dive into the video, I do want you guys to comment down below right now. Who do you think is going to potentially break out for this Cowboys team? Give me one player on each side of the football that you would predict.
And Dante Fowler as a pickup, man, we took the Washington Commanders' best sack producer. Like, Dante Fowler led the Commanders last year with sacks and pass rushing. We took him. We had him the year before. We brought him back. So we know he works good on our D-line. He works good with Micah. And then you add this Donovan Izaraku. I think we're going to get much better play out of our team this year. It's going to be much more entertaining to watch. I can't wait for the season to get started.
Predict to have a big year. With that being said, let's dive into the video. Now, the first player that could potentially break out, and I've heard nothing but really good things about him so far, is no other than Miles Sanders, the running back formerly of Philadelphia, has played some other places as well, the Panthers. But he is really starting to showcase his ability to be utilized in the receiving game, right? Being a pass catcher out the backfield, he's adding versatility. He can run the ball, he can catch the ball, he can block for the court, he can do a lot of things for your team, right? Javonte Williams, they believe he could be a really good player as well. But this duo, including Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa, right? This could be a really good running back room, but nobody's really talking about it. According to Nick Harris, the Cowboys running back Miles Sanders got a few more opportunities with the first team unit today. It's been Sanders and Javonte Williams getting the chances with the ones in mandatory minicamp. Now, I know you guys are excited about Jaden Blue from Texas and Phil Maffa as well. We're both guys who had different types of games, right? Jaden Blue is a really good pass catcher at the backfield, very elusive, very quick, right, in and out of his cuts. And then Phil Maffa downhill, welcomes contact, wants to run through you and over you, right? Now, again, I am extremely excited about this team right now in the running back room. But again, I think we should limit expectations for the rookies because Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams, like I said, like they said, they're getting the first team reps and they're doing really good things with them.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say,
I really do love them.
I've been hearing that Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams have been dogging it out in training camp. That they've had really good training camp, which is kind of let Jadon Blue stay at that number 3 spot. I kind of want Jadon Blue myself to be up there with them, getting the ones rep, but what's up to see? It looks like he's going to show some Miles Sanders tape from the Panthers and Commanders game.
Versatility of Miles Sanders. And you can line him up in multiple different spots because he can catch the football. And right here, you see the Panthers. This is not him in the backfield. He's actually over in this direction of the football field. And the first thing that we read here is they're overloading that right side of the field. Look at how many guys are down.
You out wall. Hey, man, stay blessed, brother, man. We love you. Keep your head up, man. Hopefully you get an electronic device sometime soon so you can hang out with us more.
Here, right? So what we're going to do is this is kind of a read where you're reading the defense, and if they give you a look like this, okay, we love it. So instead of actually handing the football off, we're going to get a little bit of eye candy going here. We're going to motion him across the formation. If they're loaded up like this on that side of the field, we're going to hand it off. If they're not loaded up, we're going to hand it off to the guy on the back.
Luckily, Aiden's deal didn't go crazy last year, and they keep him at a decent value. That injury may have helped Detroit in the manner of even though Aiden had a solid, very solid start to his season, he didn't get to finish his season that way, jacking his price way up. That injury kind of held him down on that value. So Detroit should be able to get decent value out of that Aiden Hutchinson deal. But When is his deal even due? Doesn't he still have another year before contracts?
Backfield, right? So look at this
Ain't
play
this
here.
only his second or
Extremely
third
loaded
year?
up. Boom. We're going to hand this ball off because they're overloaded. And look at this play by Miles Sanders, right? He's got that speed. He's got that spring on his or in his step. The guy can make a lot of big time plays still. Yes, he is getting up there in age, but he's not, a guy that you can't rely on.
What up, James? What's good? What's good? Put your hand up to the screen for Lamar Jackson. What you mean? What you mean? You can make that Lamar Jackson edit if you want.
He's again, and you can talk about Patrick Walker of DallasCowboys.com. He said the veteran is showing a lot of
What up, Dylan?
in his step, and it translates very well to this Dallas Cowboys offense, acting as a receiver, coming out of the backfield. There's occasion in minicamp where he had a touchdown pass from Dak Prescott in the red zone on an out route in the red area. So again, he's been thriving each and every single day. And they're really liking his versatility. Also got really good vision as a running back as well. Look at this play here. Gets an outside.
Just like Nike, James Sports. Just do it. Just do it.
Zone. He's going to plant that right foot into the ground because he wants these linebackers to kind of block release on the inside, opening up the outside, right? Again, great job here by Miles Sanders, getting back, utilizing his blockers in space, and then look at this, stops on a dime, acts like he's going to cut the field, gets the defender to slow down, kind of freeze up a little bit, and then stiff arms and roams around that corner.
Definitely got decent foot. He's still definitely got decent vision. I'll definitely say that about Miles Sanders. There's that deal that he got before training camp started. I thought that was like yeah, you can be on our practice squad type deal because it was he's getting like 115,000 guaranteed. That's it. 115,000 is chump change in the NFL. The veteran minimum, I believe, is like 495,000 or just under 500,000 a year. So he ain't even getting that as a guaranteed. Now his deal is obviously like a 1 point something million. But the guarantees are only at 115,000, so that is the actual deal. Everything else is just you got to earn it. Dan, I don't think that the Cowboys are going to do a whole lot more. As far as adding players to this team. I really don't. I think they're going to see who they have in training camp and see if they work. And then if they do work, then we got what we need. If they don't work or if they don't think it's good enough, then at that point, I think we may go find somebody else. But I don't think that's going to happen until after, once we get towards, the preseason. That's my feeling on it. I feel like we're not going to add nothing else until late off season, maybe early preseason. I tried, Dylan. I just got done mowing my yard before I came in here. That definitely wasn't staying cool. Yeah, we're going to be in the hundreds all week this week. It's going to be like 102, 106. It's just going to be hot as hell this week. Not going to be fun. And it's my call week.
For nice people of yards, right? I love Miles Sanders. Now, listen. Brian Schottenheimer has made it clear that he likes an archetype for a running back that has dual threat ability, unpredictability into an offense. Miles Sanders does add that, right? And while Jaden Blue maybe offers a little bit more explosiveness, I guess you could say, and more of a receiving threat, Miles Sanders has been here and he's done that for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I heard some good things about Winfrey, but really, I don't know. I don't know the guy, but I have heard good things about Winfrey. There was a lot of talk about him when we first got him. But yeah, I think the Cowboys aren't looking to add. I don't think we're going to add any more big names. I honestly don't think we're going to. I think Pickens was the last big name player that we're going to bring in. That's just my feeling on how the Jones handle business. I don't see them doing much more. In my mind, the Jones definitely went out of their comfort zone this offseason and made a bunch of acquisitions that, hopefully everything works out for them. But, I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. But I'm basing my opinion on the Joneses' history. I see you. I hear you, brother. I mean, like I said, that's just bringing people to camp, seeing if they're gonna fit. Like I said, I don't think that we're gonna add any known names. We're gonna add people that are gonna be mostly depth.
He's been productive. So
I think they're comfortable with their first team right now. I think the Cowboys feel kind of comfortable with their first team and with the coaching additions that we've had to help make them better than they were previously. Because I think we're underestimating the pickup value of that O-lineman coach and what he can do for the players to help better them. Because we didn't really have that last year. Our O-line coach was a running back coach. It's just garbage. What up, Billy? What's good? What's good, brother?
Do you think they'll give Miles Sanders as much of an opportunity as anyone is going to get in this backfield to be a big-time player?
No, yeah, I want to win too. I'm just thinking how the Jones do business. Normally, we do nothing in the offseason. And at the end of the offseason, we go and scrummage the bottom of the barrel. And we either get players that are needing to retire or players that are hurt. And this year, we did not do that. We got young players and players that, can play. I feel like they've done, obviously I would want more because I want a damn all-star loaded team, really. But the reality of it, I don't think is going to be there for that. So I'm not getting my hopes up on anything, but I'm more than accepting of new additions and wanting more additions. I'm not getting my hopes up for it.
For them early on. Now, before we get any further, because there's another player I want to talk about, make sure you guys do me a big favor.
I can tell you that we are already a better team than we were last year. And we haven't even put pads on. And we're a better team than we were last year. By far.
That like button if you haven't already done so. But most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to join the family. And we will be covering this Dallas Cowboys team throughout the entirety of not only training camp, but also preseason football. Once we kick off the season, we're going to be breaking down all 22 coaches' film for us.
I wish I could write on my screen. That damn Mattydubs. Shout out Mattydubs for this video.
Breakdown. We got you guys covered. Join the family. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. With that being said, let's dive back into the video. Now, the other play.
I mean, that's just something that all teams do, though, Dan. All teams do that. They all sign a bunch of no-name players to an extent. Now, some teams go out and also get, big-name players. But most of the time, they do sign no-name players to their team just as camp bodies and people to fill the practice field up so that they can see what they have. But, yeah, like I said, I would love to bring in a DJ Reader or a Chubb or something like that. I don't see it happening right now.
Player that is taking this.
But I do think that the team we have right now is better than last year and will be very competitive, especially in our division. I think we're going to give the Eagles a run for their money September 4th.
Dallas Cowboy coaching staff by storm is Joe Milton, man.
This guy is too big to be doing these backflips, man. This guy's a huge dude. He's like 6'7", and he's doing these roll-up backflips. Yeah, you're right. But I was just saying it as an example, though, Dan. I was making an example. I knew that at one point he was, an available target. Whether we'll take his name out and put Priest Hall in there or something. But it was just used as an example.
This dude is an athletic freak of nature. His arm strength is something I've never seen before, and he's got insane knowledge of the game. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Joe Milton for a second, but I want you guys to let me know: do you want to believe in Dak Prescott, or are you on the ship that's sailing right now? It's like, let's just go Joe Milton. Let me know where you stand on the quarterback situation. Who do you think should be the day one starter, and who do you want to be the day one starter? Two very different things. Let me know.
I can tell you my opinion on that. Right now, I think Dak needs to stay the starter. But Dak, do not get hurt, because I think there's a very good possibility that if you do get hurt, Joe Milton, I think, has that, that word, potential to not give you back your job. I think he has the potential to not give Dak back his job if Dak were to get hurt this year. Good thing on Dak's side is normally when Dak comes off an injury like he has the previous 2 times, he generally has a very good season following that. So we'll just have to see how that goes.
Right,
but for my opinion, right now, we still need to start Dak. He's the one that's more comfortable in our system. He knows the system. His chemistry with the team and the players is way further along than Joe Milton's is. But if you get hurt, Dak, everything that I'm seeing says that, you very well might not get your job back. Dak Prescott might get Tony Romo'd his damn self.
Something I wanted to read to you guys, and let's just do it, right? One player who really caught my...
Well, I mean, that's next year. That's next year, Carnage. Man, I want to let's get this season started and underway and see how we do this season before we worry about who we draft next year. And Arch Manning, he could either very easily be a top draft pick and we don't have that value this year, or he could very well hold out and stay in college for another year because he still has that ability. This will be his first year starting. So, yeah, he played good for a couple of games last year, but that's not a full season. I'm not going to put a whole big stamp of approval on a partial season when I don't do it for NFL starting quarterbacks. I'm not going to do it for a college starting quarterback either.
My attention was quarterback Joe Milton. He's very strong and makes throws down the field. Rolling to his offside look effortless. You can tell he still needs to process the game a little faster, but he's a young player in a new system. I'll be fascinated to see how he performs during training camp and preseason.
Yes, Nemo, at this stage, as we stand today, yes, Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Joe Milton. Why would I say anything otherwise? I know what Dak can do. I don't know what Joe Milton can do. I saw what he did against a bunch of backups in a final game that got him cut. He won the game, and it got his ass cut because they should have lost.
He has the
they gave up the first-round draft pick because he won that game. And then he lost favor with the coaching staff and the people above over there in Patriots land, and they let him go to us.
Something more for the Cowboys down the road, but also he offers competition. Dak Prescott now knows there's someone here that can take his job. Okay, and what that does is it.
No, stop calling people pedophile, man. Unless has he been convicted or charged with anything? No, you're saying it based on some words that he typed that got taken out of context.
Lights a fire under Dak Prescott. Like, hey, if
he was a true pedophile, he would not be in my community and on my channel. I would not accept him on my channel, period. But you're taking words out of context to make them mean something that you want them to mean, and that's not what they mean. People talk differently than other people. People type differently than other people. Joe at this stage today, Nemo, Joe is not better than Dak. And that's a false statement too, Carnage.
Form this year, you got a really good chance to be gone. He does not want to be gone.
The only thing Joe can do better than Dak right now is run the ball. We're not needing our quarterback to be a running back right now.
Okay, so I do think that adding Joe Milton alone,
As a passer, right now, Dak Prescott is better. As a NFL starting QB right now, Dak Prescott is better than Joe Milton. But like I said, if Dak Prescott gets hurt, there is very good potential that Joe Milton could come in and play good and maybe not give Dak back his job. I'm not wishing for that because I don't want my starting quarterback to get hurt. But at the end of the day, I'm going to start who I think is better, which would be Dak at this stage. We get into next year, and we've seen Joe Milton play some good football this year because Dak did get hurt, and the question still lingers throughout next year's offseason. The answer may be different next year. The answer could be different next year. I don't know. But as for this year, as for today, Dak Prescott's my starting quarterback, not Joe Milton. Joe Milton is my backup who has very good potential. But again, that word is like a half glass half empty, glass half full word. It's not a word you take to the bank. You don't take the word potential to the bank because when people are talking about good players, they don't use the word potential. They say this person's good. This person can do this. This person can do that. When someone tells you that someone has potential, there's always a question mark lingering in your head afterwards because you're like, well, what does the potential really mean? It could mean nothing. It could mean that they have one good technique or one good feature about them, but nothing else translates. So I take it with a grain of salt. But at the end of the day, today, as this season starts, I'm starting Dak Prescott. Like I said, though, don't get hurt, Dak. Don't get hurt.
who is going to make Dak Prescott a better player. Overall, when you look at
I don't know, Dan. We'll see. We'll see, man. We got to put a little bit of faith in the new coaching that has come in and the effort that's. I don't know how much you've paid attention to any of the training camp videos that have come out. Yes, they're underwear Olympics because they don't have pads on other than like maybe a helmet. But I don't know, man. I think it's looking good. My honest opinion is I think the team is looking really good right now. And yes, that running, like defense stopping the run aspect is always going to have that question mark because of what we've seen them do. But I'm going to give them a chance. Let's see how they come in, and we'll go from there. If something's obvious, I'm going to be on the screen yelling that shit. I'm going to be pointing it out. I'm going to be cussing out the damn team saying, you need to get this. You should have done this. I'm going to be the first one bashing on their ass. Ain't no way. But I'm going to get back into this.
Joe Milton and what he adds as a quarterback, I mean, you see dynamic, you see smart.
Not always, Dan. You could say that, but again, Washington went to the NFC Championship game damn near with brand new coaches. So, I mean, Sean McVay, when he first started, went, not always is there growing pains. I think there's growing pains when you have a coaching system that doesn't quite fit. I have a feeling that Brian Schottenheimer's a good fit. And the coaches that he brought in are good character coaches that are all preaching the same message. And the players are contributing to preaching that same message as well. And they're all on the same accord. So everything is gelling right now. If it turns out and the season looks like doo-doo, like I said, I'm going to be one of the first ones to call it out. Because I'm not putting a ton of stock in it. Right now, I still have not drank that Kool-Aid. That Kool-Aid pitcher that they've been stirring this offseason that I said looks good, it still looks good. And it's looking better than it did previously. But the question marks lingering from years past still make me weary to drink it. So that's where I'm at with it.
You see just a freak of nature with the football in his hands. Right here, scanning the field, trying to find an open player. It looks like they're in the Tampa 2 defense, which essentially means you got a flop flat, you got a hook curl, you got a mid read, you got a hook curl, you got a flat over here, and then you got your 2 eye safeties towards the top of your screen over here, right? So as he's dropping back in the pocket, he's trying to find something to get immediate pressure up the middle of that A gap. So he gets outside the pocket, okay? Now, the one thing I really want to show you guys about this play.
Talk is cheap, absolutely.
All the ability.
That's why I just can't wait for the season to get started.
And potentially go for a first down.
I want to see how this turns out for us. This could be very, very good.
Right? He can. He may maybe get his blocker here, maybe get a blocker here, maybe fight for a first down. But the one thing I love about Joe Milton is he always keeps his eyes down the field because he knows, right? He is a threat running the football, which means guys got.
And I'm right there with you, Dan. I'm right there with you. But I am staring at that Kool-Aid. I'm sitting at the table staring at that Kool-Aid with an empty glass. I'm not drinking it yet, but I'm sitting there staring at it with an empty glass. The thirst hasn't gotten there enough yet where I've drank it, but I'm going to give them a chance with low expectations and higher hopes, but I'm not going to expect much because I want the expectations to be exceeded instead of not reached.
Got to bite up, right? This guy's got to bite up. This guy might have to bite up. And what's that going to do overall? Right, with all these guys biting up, it's gonna open up something.
I don't do Snapchat, Chiefs. Carnage is 34, but I don't do Snapchat. I have Snapchat for one reason and one reason only, so that when my kids are over at their friend's house because they don't have phones with a network yet, they only use Wi-Fi. That they can actually call us from their phone or text us from their phone to check in. Other than that, I don't use Snapchat. I don't have anybody other than my wife, my mom, and my kids on my Snapchat. That's all I use it for.
Over the middle of the field, whether it's here or here, you got guys opening up. So his ability to keep his eyes down the field, get these guys to bite up, and then boom, look at this, throws cross the field, wide open, dangerous throw, right? But perfect. Joe Milton is a smart football player, athletic freak with incredible arm strength. I love Joe Milton, and he's been blowing up at camp thus far. I think this is going to be.
He's thrown a bunch of picks. Joe Milton has thrown a bunch of picks so far in our training camp. I ain't gonna lie and hold you. You're either saying, whoa, that's a really good pass, or damn, he just threw the ball to Jane Slater, which is a journalist who would be on the side of the field. You know how Jerry is. Jerry doesn't pick up the phone unless it's ringing. He doesn't make the calls. He said that previously, that he's interested in trades, but the phone hasn't rang. He doesn't go out and actually do it. He puts the word out there through the media of what he thinks might be possible, and if the phone rings, he picks it up. But he doesn't generally make calls, from what I've understood and the meaning that I've got from it.
Beginning, I think he's going to be huge for the Dallas Cowboys, and I think he's going to make one hell of a difference, even if it's just motivating Dak to be better. Now, with that being said, there's been 4 players that I think have stood out so far, but there are a couple of more that I can talk about, right? So if you want a part 2 to this video, all you got to do, hit the like button. Let me know in the comments down below by comment.
All right, so again, if you like that video, go check out Mattydubs. He's the one who put that video together. Shout outs to Mattydubs. All right. Now, this was just a short that I saw by Law Nation.
Was the first to get to him. Well, he's outstanding. Here's the first snap for the Eagles, and a handoff it is to Barkley. There's contact quickly, no gain.
Get back healthy, my boy. Get back healthy. We need you.
Oh, it's a We just talked about Overshown and his ability. Philadelphia goes gone. Hurts. AJ Brown doubled up.
I ain't seen somebody come back off of an Achilles tear and look how he did last year. I'm hoping he can do it twice in a row. No, yeah, Chiefs, you have been. Now, I will say Noah and Carnage are always here.
Been dropped it. Jalen looking for options and down. Overshown comes back, buries him at the 45-yard line.
I thought this was going to be more of like a video just showing like his recovery footage. We only got a glimpse of that so far.
Overshown, stay outside. Stay right in your gap. Push him back to the other guy. I think Jalen needs to get rid of that ball.
But Overshown's a dog, man. I can't wait for him to come back. That shit'll be exciting. We got Siobhan Ravel right here. Getting back in for ready for week 1. Word with him is he will be ready for week 1. So that's good news.
Good, get up. Big deep drive.
Nathan, you really think the Cowboys are going to be in last place? I think the Cowboys will either be 1 or 2. I think only the Eagles will be ahead of us if we're 2. I don't think the Commanders are going to look like they did last year. They don't have the element of surprise with Jalen Daniels no more. Everybody's had a full off season to study his film. He is going to probably enter his sophomore slump, just like your average quarterbacks do, or the majority of your quarterbacks do. Not average is probably a wrong word, but the majority of your quarterbacks in the NFL meet a sophomore slump. Because once teams are able to dial up and study the film and learn the tendencies, it gets harder to compete against them because teams know how to prepare for you. Versus last year, teams didn't have that because the only film they were putting on for you was the film the week of their game against you. And a lot of those games for the Commanders were won with luck. I don't know if they're going to have all that same luck this year. But the Cowboys won't be 3rd in the division. That's going to be between the Commanders and the Giants on who gets 3rd in the division and 4th in the division. The Cowboys will not finish 3rd or 4th. The Cowboys will finish either 1st or 2nd in the division this year. That's a promise. We're going to be plus 10 wins because anytime Dak has a healthy season, if he stays healthy, it's 10 wins at minimum. Dak doesn't generally get less than 10 wins when he stays healthy. Only time we get less than 10 wins is when Dak gets hurt. So, we'll see.
Good, get up. Big deep drive.
One thing I do know about Siobhan Ravel, though, is he is a tackling machine as a cornerback, and I love it. Has Chiefs on Top even responded to you guys yet? Watch Hardest Hits. It's awesome. I'll have to check it out, Chiefs. No, yeah, I don't. like I said, the problem the Dolphins are having with the trade with Ramsey is that they're going to have to eat a lot or all of that salary cap dead hit. They're just going to. A team is not going to want to take Jalen Ramsey on at his age and have to pay a guaranteed 24. They're not going to want to do that. The Dolphins are going to have to eat some of that cap, and I think that's where they're having trouble finding a trade partner, because if they're going to have to eat that dead cap money anyways, why not have him on the team? I agree with the Russell part. The Giants have had all kinds of talent throughout the years. The problem with the Giants is they don't know what to do with their talent, Nathan. The Giants are dumbfounded when they got a talented player because they don't know what to do with them. Look at what they did with Barkley. Not shit. And then they traded him to the Eagles. And that statement would have been better to me had you said they got Abdul Carter. Because I think Abdul Carter's a better acquisition than Russell Wilson. I am not worried about Russell Wilson at all. At all.
We're going to start things off by. I heard at least one.
Fair weather.
Up there. I heard one while they were up there.
I think he could be a surprising tight end.
Austin Bruce Harmon.
They're actually about the same age. Nathan, they're really close to being about the same age. But Dak is also one of the oldest players on our team. Our whole team has gotten younger. We don't have a whole bunch of old people on our team anymore. We've got like 3 that are at the age or older than 30. CJ Goodwin, Dak Prescott, and I can't even think of the other one off the top of my head, but there's only like 3 players on the team that are over 30. Everybody else is under 30. We've gotten a lot younger with our team this year.
Out of Oregon, Trayshawn Holden. Wide receiver out of Texas Tech, Josh Kelly. Tight end from Virginia, Tyler Neville.
These are all the Cowboy rookies that they got this year. Brian Agner, he might be the other one that I'll say. There's only like 3, at most 4 players that are over 30.
Safety crew, love it.
And Brian Agner, he's a kicker. He don't count. We don't count the kickers.
Once again, let's give it up for the 2025 undrafted class for your Dallas Cowboys.
I can't remember if Chiefs was from Texas.
Remember these faces because they will be one of your favorite players very, very soon as they continue toward Oxnard minicamp next week and getting ready to make the team for your Dallas Cowboys. All right, now we would like to introduce the 2025 Dallas Cowboys rookie draft class. Can you guys make some noise? Let's go. Starting with defensive tackle from Maryland, Tommy Akingbasote.
Punter, kicker, same thing.
Bill Maffa.
They kick the ball. They kick the ball. That's all I was getting at.
From UCLA, Jay Thoria.
I think he's going to be a good player for us. I think that dude right there has got some good potential.
Tackle from Oregon, Ajani Cornelius.
Listen, I thought he was from Texas.
Linebacker from Florida, Shamar James. Running back from the University of Texas, Jaden Blue.
Jadon Blue 32. Say what?
Corner from East Carolina, Savon Rebel.
He didn't ask what state you lived in, though, Carnage. He asked what part of Texas. He lives in Dallas, Fort Worth area. He lives 30 minutes from the stadium, Chiefs on top.
And last but certainly not least, the first-round pick, guard from Alabama, Tyler Booker.
It needs to be not getting lost.
I put it in a bag.
You need to go get a bag.
And then I put it in the pillow.
Your 2025 rookie draft class for the Dallas Cowboys, everybody. Good looking class. It's a great looking class.
Yeah, I agree, Chief.
The one thing I will say about this class is there's a lot of personality. There's a lot of personality, individuals across the board. And I want to just say,
and that means nothing, Nathan. That means absolutely nothing. What someone has done in the past, as far as winning championships, is not going to be anything put into what they're going to do this year. That's just saying what they've done.
And that's Shamar James.
I want to know what they're going to do.
You can't say
the Giants ain't done shit since Eli Manning left. They ain't done shit since Eli Manning left. How long ago was that? Are we not pushing close to 10 years at this point? Like, this man's been gone for like 7, 8 years, maybe 10. Jadon, I like Jadon. Tyler Booker's going to be a hell of a player for the Cowboys, too. Top offensive lineman in the draft.
Luckily, the Lord worked it out for me to be a Dallas Cowboy. So it's truly been a blessing to now be here officially, going through OTAs, learning, and playing with some of my teammates, getting used to them. It's really just been a dream come true, to be honest with you.
So, I didn't get to experience the draft and all that good stuff. I was undrafted, but how was that? How was that whole process going through? And then draft day, you hear your name called, what emotions were going through your mind when you found out that you were going to be a Dallas Cowboy?
But yeah, it was super cool, and I was a lot calmer than most on draft day just because I knew that I had done everything. I did the combine, I played really well at Alabama for 3 years. My character was really well known among everyone, so I know that the work had been done, and that was just meant for me to enjoy that time with my family.
Don't listen to him, though, Chief. If you don't live or were born and live in the city, if you weren't born or live in the city your team is from, they're not going to consider you a real fan. That's Carnage's rules. Those are Carnage's rules. But they're not real existing rules. They call me a fake fan too, Chief. Don't feel bad. Here, Micah. You need your butt changed now? Huh? Yes? Come here. I got Cheetos on the floor. I don't clean this house if you guys can throw Cheetos on my floor. Dude, you need to come here. Both of you come here. No. You are. Put shorts on. Yeah, fresh and clean bus.
I'm a realtor, and I'm on $2. Trust tax.
Fresh and clean, little Micah me.
And they're helping other families needs to save.
I'm not worried about that. Jerry Jones is in the process of falling back. We saw that this offseason as Jerry Jones is not the lead anymore. There's a reason why Stephen Jones's title has changed from Chief Operating Officer of Player Personnel to co-owner. And we have seen very little of Jerry Jones in the media unless it was a press conference. We have only seen Jerry Jones for press conferences. Every other interview has been conducted by Stephen Jones or Brian Schottenheimer. Jerry Jones, we have not gotten to hear from 2 to 3 times a week like we normally do. Normally, we hear from Jerry Jones 2 to 3 times a week. We don't get that at all this offseason. I think Jerry Jones is taking a step back. He will always be involved as long as he's alive. He will always be involved. But I do not think that he is going to be a factor this offseason. Because of Jimmy Johnson, we broke that curse when we brought him back and inducted him into the Hall of Fame. We broke that curse that year. It is still Jerry's world. But he's at the stage where he's not going to be meddling in team business anymore. Use your words without the wine. But Nathan, all those arguments are all arguments that we've heard for years and years and years. I've reiterated them myself. I am not a Jerry Jones fan as far as him being management. He could be an owner like everybody else, and that's how I like it. Take it off again, and I'm not put it back on. No, obviously not. You would know about it. But we have lifted that aura off of our shoulders. Well, yeah, if you want to say Barry Switzer's championship, but Barry Switzer, they won with Jimmy Johnson's team. Barry Switzer was just the coach of it, who was sitting on a golf cart all off season and everything. But when we inducted Jimmy Johnson into the Cowboys Ring of Honor, and he made that statement, how about them Cowboys? Man, that was when we lifted that curse. That curse got lifted then. When we got them two back together and they mingled, and he put him in the Ring of Honor. Yeah, Carnage has a wife and a kid. Yes. One of those curses you want to believe, but you don't really know. Exactly, Noah.
A little bit. Anyway, a little bit. So I don't know if everybody knows, but we're in that green room. People, so like let's say like on TV they're on pick 5, pick 7 is already on the phone. So I'm just sitting there and I see 1,030,000. I'm like, man, I really want to put Dallas. And my agent supposed to be like, they call. I finally got the call. Yeah, I was super excited. I'm very blessed to be here.
Now, you talked about wanting to go to Dallas. What made Dallas stick out during your training, and why was being in the Metroplex?
Look at good old Barry Church chilling. Barry Church, old safety for the Cowboys, chilling, doing interviews with the new rookie players.
Well, to be honest with you, the thought of no state income tax really.
I don't know, man. We got a lot of answers for the Eagles. We'll see week 1 That'll be our measuring stick against the Eagles. Week 1, September 4th at 4:30 in the afternoon. We'll be live for Cowboys versus Eagles Week 1. And that's supposed to be a measuring stick game for the Cowboys. But don't let the Cowboys beat the Eagles because, oh, Lordy, man, I'm going to be hyped. The Super Bowl defending champions couldn't beat a team that was built yesterday.
You're saying that to the right crowd. There's a lot of financial executives out there.
Good to have you, though, here, Chiefs fan. Man, you ain't been here in a minute this long. You actually hang out with us, even though you've been kind of having to defend yourself a little bit with Carnage and Messi. That's what they do, though. They like to pick on people, so just don't let them get to you. They like to have their fun. Just don't let them get you in your emotions or nothing. Don't take none of it seriously.
But yeah, a more football-based answer is just how much this area, how much really the state of Texas cares about football. Like I'm born and raised in New Haven, Connecticut, and I went to the University of Alabama because I wanted to go somewhere where they actually cared and love football. You could definitely feel that same vibe here. So to be somewhere where they actually care about football is different. You can just feel it. And then also just being the Dallas Cowboys, just watching Dallas as I was growing up, you just see that all those great offensive lines that Dallas had. So for me to be a part of a great offensive line for a fraternity like that is just give me something to look forward to and goals to set for myself.
Ain't nothing wrong with Chiefs fan.
Just like coming after Zach.
Messi.
I was able to meet Tyron.
You got to call someone weird.
To be immersed in that fraternity. Really cool.
It's awesome to have that continue.
He's a teenager, Messi. If I remember right, he's 15.
They've had such great success in the past with their offensive linemen. Now, as I was getting ready for this,
well, you did get that he is a stoner. Messi is a stoner. I am too, though. But Messi is a stoner. And I'm sure he probably does still live with his parents.
When I was in Dallas before, so Dallas forever
But
pushed my heart because that's where I got my 2 babies at.
Messi, you got to remember, he's a minor.
And what were the names?
Because Chiefs, aren't you 15? Was it 15 that you were?
What's your name again? Okay.
And then Trina.
And Trina.
Yes.
Trina got some popularity during draft time.
Oh yeah, Trina's super popular. Unfortunately, Traquavion passed away, but Trina's still.
Yeah, Noah's a young adult. Noah's at 18, 19. He can legally fight for his country.
I went to the Serpentarium. I think it's about 10 minutes from here. They had one. Trina, she was actually on top.
Even though I feel like you shouldn't be able to enlist in the Army until you're 18, or you should be able to drink or when you're 21, or you should be able to drink when you're 18. You should be able to drink. If you can serve for our country, you should be able to drink alcohol. Period. No way in hell you should be fighting for our country and you cannot come home and have a beer. No. You either need to change the legal age to drinking to 18 in the United States, or you need to change the enlisting age to 21. One of the two. One of the two got to happen. I don't care which one it is. I'm above both. So one of the two need to happen. You can't have veterans coming home from war and they can't have a damn beer.
And she actually called up to me. I was like, oh yeah, this is like.
Well, I didn't, Noah. Well, I didn't. Cheers. Cheers to me. That's what I said. That's what I said, Carnage. They need to change the legal age to drinking to 18. Or they need to change the legal age for enlisting into the Army or into the service to 21. They need to match. Those two need to match. They need to be the same age. You need to either be... If you can fight for our country, you should be able to damn drink a beer. It ain't nothing about you, Messi. It ain't nothing about you, Messi. It's about the fact that you can go fight for the country but can't legally buy a beer. To me, is bullshit. I think that if you're able to go fight for our country, you should be able to go buy a beer if you want to. Now, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm thinking that my brain says that you should be if you can fight for our country, that you should be able to drink a beer. My logic is not flawed.
She's like, she's mine. And then they were like, well, she has a sibling.
No, you should be able to. But at the same time, when you come back from that, you should be able to also buy a beer. Tell me why a lot of veterans end up being alcoholics when they get back.
How long do you have to be in the army, Dad?
Depends.
How long you want? You have to be in a certain time.
Dude, like, you want to get into? I was like, well, I got to. Now you can't split up a family.
Jay, do you have any?
I was drinking before 18. Absolutely. And in Canada, you can drink. The legal, actually, everywhere but the U.S., you can damn near drink it at the age of 18. Damn near everywhere but the U.S., you can drink at the age of 18.
You didn't bring any turtles? Nothing? No. Not this time around? Now, one thing that Tyler...
No, I don't drink either. Not like that. I might have a beer or two at most. Like, I haven't had a beer since the last football game, like the Super Bowl. I haven't had a beer since then. I don't literally drink very often. I don't buy it from industries, Messi. I don't buy my shit from industries. I have not lived in Canada. I have been to Canada.
I want to be in Canada.
Why would you want to be in Canada?
Was it good?
I went there for hockey tournaments, and then I went there for a vacation with my parents when I was young.
Did you like it there?
It was all right. We went to Magic Mountain. It was like
I want to go somewhere.
boy, stay up out of this.
No, I want to go on a flight. When I grow up,
What up, Kim? What up?
when I grow up, I'm going to New Zealand.
All right. Well, we ain't worried about that because right now you're still not grown up.
When I'm 18, I'm going to New Zealand.
Man, you take your next time you go wherever the hell you go, you stay. I stay where the fuck I want to stay at, Carnage. I'll stay at your goddamn house if I want to. How about that? Sleep on your goddamn couch. Well, fuck it. I'll kick you out your bed. I'll sleep in your bed and put you on your damn couch.
Conference, and he's played down south for the majority of
I stay with my ass
How
wants to
warm it
stay.
gets down here during the summer. Donovan Ezraku played at Boston College. Are you ready for the summer heat that is in Texas? Are you ready for this?
So I was just having a conversation upstairs, and I was like, yeah, it's been, last week, really hot week. They were like, oh, you haven't seen anything yet? I'm like, the thing we started from Canada, Austin, California, so I'll be.
Oxnard Citron.
Yeah.
Then you get back out here for a little bit. And it's nice and hot in the middle of August. Fluids are important. Make sure and hydrate. Get through it. I'm sure Bill O'Brien told you once or twice.
Yeah, all that.
About it all.
Okay, good for you. I'm still taking your bed and putting you on the couch, or you could sleep in your extra bedroom.
For you so far.
You'll need that extra bedroom when I come over. For you.
It's been a very, very, very good transition and experience for me, honestly. I kind of didn't have similar story to T-Book, but I had no idea.
My ass gonna sleep like a king no matter where the hell I am. And I have an extra room too, so I don't really give two shits. But I also have plenty of kids to fill them.
I was gonna be out here in the first place. And when I saw my phone ring on draft night, it said the star.
What do you have, a 4-bedroom house, Carnage? Congratulations. So do I.
What's the star? Like, what is the star? And I answered it. Somebody named Mr. Jerry Jones answered the phone.
I've heard of him before.
You know, so it's very, 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 very good experience. It's been a blessing being here. So
my thing is I don't need an extra room for. I've been there. And kids don't sleep in county jail, dumbass. This ain't scared straight. Kids don't sleep in county jail. Grown-ups sleep in county jail. So your house ain't much bigger than mine. You got like 200 square foot more than me. You got, now my last house I had more on both of those than you. We were kind of rushed into our next house because I didn't own, I rent. And my previous house, which was on a full acre of land and was 2,000, it was still 2,000 square foot. It was being sold out from underneath me. I had no choice. I had to move. So I found the next best place that I could. About 1,800 square feet, 18 or 19. I think it's like 18 and a half or something like that. And it's got a smaller lot. I got a 2-level house. There's literally a staircase right there. I got a 2-level house with a 2-car garage. What up, Uncle Charles? What's good? What's good? Welcome in. But yeah, my house is a 2-story house with a 2-car garage. And I probably only have a 1/4 acre of land because I live in a cul-de-sac. Which I prefer living in a cul-de-sac because I have children. Cul-de-sacs generally don't have a ton of car traffic, so your kids have an area out there that's pavement to play on. All real estate really right now is going crazy. Well, not really right now, but over the last few years, it was a real estate boom. I hear you, Chief.
far transitioning from BC to here and meeting great guys. I think we have a very, very, very good.
I wish that I only had a 1-level house though. When I moved here, my kids loved the stairs. I thought it was cool. My last house was 1 level. But man, I hate going up the stairs. I hate going up the stairs.
I like it because I can jump.
I mean, I could jump. Well, I can't jump right now, but I could jump before I fucked up my foot. I can't really jump right now. You're moving up. Hey, well, good luck and good congratulations and good luck on the move. Ain't nothing wrong with trailers. I've lived in trailers. I've lived in apartments. I've lived in houses. It don't matter. Man, you make anything at home. You can make anything home. Home is where you make it. Forrest Gump style.
We understand that.
Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
That you would kind of model your game after?
Yeah, of course, I've watched tape for the guy that's here on the other side.
He's a beast.
He's a beast. But I've watched Von Miller in the league since I started playing football, which is crazy because we're in the same league now. Many other guys, Marcus
Professor Noah Messi in the building.
I try to take different.
We got English class today with Professor Noah Messi.
And the defense is a brotherhood, just like we talked about with the offensive line. I mean, all three of these guys that are sitting up here in front for sure. I mean, as Raku, James.
That's dope, Chief. That's dope. Well, congrats, bro. Like I said, good luck with the move. Hopefully the transition is smooth for you and your family.
He really wants you guys to be close and for it to be complimentary. How much, Shamar, has that changed from maybe your past coaching now that you've gotten into the NFL?
Yeah, so Coach Bruce, like you said, he's real big on like knowing the guy next to you, like personally, like outside of this facility. So I mean, I would say that's a little unique for me because everybody thinks it's just football that's the only game to become in the facility, but really it's when I'm getting to know Dono outside of the facility. When I get to know what makes them tick, what makes them go. So I feel like that's a special idea to come up with as a defensive coordinator.
You know what makes linebackers really successful, right? Really good defensive tackles too. So I want you to tell me something about Jay. That
Jay has a fiance, wife, fiance, right?
Fiance, wife?
Yeah, girl. Well, soon to be. I'm sorry. I probably broke the news early, but yeah, Jay has a significant other.
Jay's like, yo, I ain't popped the question.
That's something I learned about this.
Jay Toya looks like one of my homeboys.
Yeah.
He looks just like one of my homeboys.
At a church conference.
Shout out Dub if you ever see this, my boy. Jay Toya and Dub, they all look the same. Tell Dub to grow a mustache.
Played at East Carolina.
Take his braids out.
Injury, but all things were looking good, right? So, what's kind of the rehab process been like for you as you continue to get ready for the season?
I tore my ACL back in September last year. I had surgery October 15th, so I'm really got it for about 8 months. So after that, after my surgery, I'm on the 7th month right now. So, the process, you're going in and out of a lot of things. We had the 30 visits, we had the combine, we had the meetings.
Man, his hair is giving me R-Truth vibes before the Ron Killings edition.
Do what I gotta do, and place my own circle. I did build my own circle, surrounding myself with people that want me to do my best. And that gave me positive energy to just keep going, not getting down on myself, not going to the physical.
I don't know why you guys always gotta tear each other apart. Why can't y'all be a good, loving community? Can't we all just get along?
I've spent plenty of time back there with Britt Brown and Jim Maurer and those guys, but what type of mindset do you have to have when you're attacking a rehab such as an ACL?
I mean, you gotta attack everything like you want.
When did Chiefs complain or bitch? I didn't see him do either of that.
That's what a lot of coaches have said inside of me, and I worked my way up to that game.
Noah, you're talking like trash though. You may be calling somebody trash, but that's a trash conversation.
It's awesome, and it's not the only time you've had to overcome some adversity too. I know you have a background as an Amazon truck driver, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Amazon truck? What happened there? Why did you end up doing that? Where did it lead?
Hey, I might get that popcorn. But I ended up at Amazon pretty much. This is more for the younger generation and stuff. I don't know if y'all hear. But as I started high school, I wasn't the best student. I was always a good person. But when it came to I was always a little guy. So after football practice, I tried to get some weight on, lifting in, and know nothing about recovery. So I go back the next day thinking I can do the same weight now. But thought my freshman and sophomore year, didn't have the greatest grades. So the toughest thing in my high school career was knowing that 11th and 12th grade meant I wasn't eligible, or I was a non-qualified going to college. So that's kind of what Amazon kind of came from. Because I'm the kind of person I like to stay productive, I like to move around, I like to always be doing something, keep my mind going.
so I got that Amazon job. You know, my dad was doing his research. I continued to work out in front of my mom in the backyard. My dad's man came, brought up some weights upstairs to do some lunges and squats. That's the only thing I could use at that time. While I was working at Amazon. So to keep it a little brief, Amazon came with Lewisburg. My dad called me one day. He was like, "Hey, Lewisburg want to offer you." It's a small school called Lewisburg, North Carolina. You know, it's too small, but to me, it was big because it was another opportunity for me.
Yeah, shout outs to
I also had free access to a gym,
Siobhan Ravel,
and I
North
kept
Carolina
going.
College, pick him up.
I don't know. I don't like to take naps. I like to keep going. So my whole thing about it was, okay, Amazon is
Messi, you and Carnage, I wouldn't trust to babysit. I wouldn't trust you guys to babysit my kids, let alone raise any kids.
I went to Lewisburg, you know, all I had to do was get my GPA up, my grades up, you know, got that up first 2 semesters, you know, and then I came to East Carolina.
Y'all always so damn negative. We got negative Nancy's in the damn chat.
They like what they seen. I was long, I was fast, I was a little smaller than I am now. They offered me at a 2.0 in that time. I'm not afraid to say it because a lot of kids, I want a lot of kids to know that it's not where you start. It's not how you begin. It's how you finish. You know what I mean? You got to keep working. You know, just because you hit one bump in your road, that means your job is done. You got to accept those challenges. You know, a lot of people say you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? You got to put yourself in a position in order to grow. And so that's what I did. Was I got to that G4, you know, got that 2.0.
There ain't shit you could tell me about North Carolina College that I give two dams about.
But you know, I exceeded that. You know, I said, okay, they want 2.5. I'm giving 2.8. I might give them 3.0. But like anything to keep me away from that, you know. And I always said to myself, I was at Lewisburg, I was like, if I can make a C, I can make a B. If I can make a B, I can make a A. And that's just kind of how just doing to it and just kept working. You know, so I learned from my mistakes or the lesson I had when I went to that year. You know, not feeling like I won't ever be able to play football again or feeling that low of myself ever again. So just taking that into the future for the kids, for the youngest, you know,
driving through and knowing something that I give two dams about are two different things, Messi.
Listen to the old folks. That's what I did.
You think I'm gonna take into any consideration anything Carnage says about damn near anything? Probably not.
And instill inside of my life in the works.
Carnage stay trolling too much.
That's awesome. How cool is that? That's very cool stuff. Now, do we have any Texas Longhorn fans in here? Any of them? I figure there's probably a couple, and there's a couple Aggies in here too. I heard it. Jaden Blue, Texas Longhorn running back, went to a couple of college football playoffs. He got to play for Tashard Choice, one of the former Dallas Cowboys running backs, and he's already been very complimentary of you and the other guys that were in that room. I mean, how prepared are you for this moment, knowing that you played with other guys like Bijan and like Roshan and some of these other guys that had success in the league, and you got to learn from the former Dallas Cowboys and Tashard Choice?
Yeah, like you said, the 15 years, I had a coach that's been done there and he played it. So that's my guy, man. He's helped me with a lot of things. You know, he made me a better player and a better person off the field. So I give him a lot of credit. He's helped me get through a lot of adversity that I've been through when I was there. Our relationship is really tight, and he's a guy that I can go to at any time I want to do something. So yeah, he's helped me become the person I am today. And you know, with the guys that's in the league now that play heavy and take the day off of that in a big way. My father they lead, they not only great football players, but great guys. So yeah, I give Coach Choice and those guys a lot of credit because you know,
we almost brought Tashard Choice in as our running back coach, but the college offered him more money than the Cowboys did. So he stayed with the college.
So I know he's got me prepared for the National Football League and being here in the Dallas Cowboys. So early on, I know it's early, OTAs, I got mini camp next week and all that good stuff, but is there anything that surprised you, or is there anything that you've learned so far about being a Dallas Cowboy?
Nothing really surprised.
Hell yeah, Chief.
Playbook has kind of surprised me on how long, you know, the plays are and everything. But like I said, man, he prepared me really well to to be on this stage. And, you know, it helps a lot with him, you know, being a former NFL player. So he's gave me a lot of ins and outs of what to look for and, you know, what to prepare for.
Have you gotten to talk to any of those other Longhorn running backs that are in the NFL yet since you were drafted?
Yeah, I'll talk to all of them still. I talked to Big Gun, I talked to JD the other day. Just, you know, trying to get into great words, you know, to get through his hand. Talk to Keelan some, and, you know, I'll talk to Rosa and also, you know, they also check on me and make sure I'm all right. But yes.
What's it been like also having a guy like Phil here, another running back?
Eating gummies and getting high is still being a stoner, though, Messi. That still qualifies you as a stoner. Just because you don't smoke it, you eat it, you're still getting the same side effects. You're still failing a piss test.
You know, we make each other better. And I'm just excited for, you know, the running backs that are in the room too, those veterans. They have so much knowledge and we get to learn from them every day, you know, get to know them and just, you know, really bind together as a team, and those things, you know, are priceless.
What would you say your biggest strength is coming into the National Football League being a running back? Like, what set you apart and let you be dominant to be able to be in this position you are right now?
I would say my size and my quickness at my size, being able to, you know, pass pro and catch the ball at the backfield, you know, just being able to utilize who I am as a bigger guy, but still being able to move.
I mean, you can run
a
over
powerhouse.
I've seen it on tape a couple times. Big body running back. You love contact, right? Yeah. You told me that before too. You invite contact. I mean, I know you're not hitting yet, but how do you anticipate the step up whenever it comes to the preseason and the NFL physicality?
I do believe the NFL is definitely physical, but you know, my mindset is just prepare myself the best I can each and every day. And you know, when I get that opportunity, give it my all. And I know that because I prepare myself, my confidence will be there. And I believe that'll make me successful in the end.
You got to be friends as running backs with being in Phil with your offensive line. How much have you connected with these guys across the board, like a Johnny, like Tyler, a couple of the guys that are on the team already, offensive line wise, to be ready for that moment?
All the time. They're the guys who lead the way. Without them, there's no, you know. So I take a lot of pride in, you know, being there for all linemen.
I'm not happy, Messi.
Do as much as I can.
I don't want anybody ran out of my chat.
Like I said, they make everything happen. You know, for me to be able to be the player that I want to be, you know, they have to, you know, get them done up front. So, like I said, man, I try to do the best as I can and make sure I'm doing, you know, everything in my power to make sure that I keep those guys up and down my support.
But Johnny, has he bought you dinner or anything yet? Has he taken you out? You hear quarterbacks do that, but I think running backs should too, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm still kind of waiting on that, but I'm glad you said that.
Y'all are like antiviruses.
This weekend we could probably figure that out. Right?
We're just trying to like nudge it a little bit, you know, trying to help you out a little bit here. What's it been like for you on the offensive line? Just like Tyler said, you can learn from some of these guys. It's
running people off the channel is not the goal of the channel at all.
Nah, definitely. You got the veterans in the room, which I'm very grateful for. Honestly, it's just been a blessing. The biggest advice to me from Coach Ryals was just to get fun. And that's what I try to do every day, is grow as much as I can. And, you know, ask questions and hear what the vets are saying, hear what the coaches are saying, just take everything in. And like I said, just keep growing.
I like people in the chat.
It was funny. I turned back.
Messi. I like people in the chat. I don't care about someone's sexual preference. I don't care about someone's religion. I don't care about someone's nationality, color, or creed. I want people in the chat.
Until the 7th round. But when it happened, I mean, how much relief was there to get that call? And then how many DMs or text messages did you get from that point forward once you ended up getting the call from the guy?
I was really excited to get that call. You know, I was on since 12 p.m. all the way to 6, so it was a long wait. But when I got the call, I was blessed. Thank God. I had a great time with my family. And I went from 6,000 followers on Instagram to 3,000. So it was nice.
All right, Chief. See you later, brother.
We should get him to 9 before the end of the day.
I've never played Fortnite with him.
You know, football or not, who was the biggest impact on you
I've only played Fortnite with Messi and Easton. Those are the only people that I've played with from the community. Well, one time I played James Sports. He played one time with us.
He's seen potential in me. I was just a big fourth grader who was the biggest fourth grader in the school.
If you go take a drug test, you're still going to pass.
I thought I was in trouble, but ended up inviting me to come play for his team, and ever since then, he took me in as his son.
I haven't played at all.
Every weekend because my parents had to go to work for life.
I've been out doing stuff in my yard. I've been out doing stuff in my yard all day.
I wouldn't be here without him, so I just wanted to.
That is super cool, everybody. Very, very cool. So now that we've gotten to talk to everybody up here, kind of get to hear some of the different parts of their personality and their story and things. I mentioned earlier with Will McClay,
Stop locking people out,
Micah. Throughout the year is competition every day, right? All the competition.
Stop locking the door.
Basketball, about the ping pong, video games, and things like that. Is there anybody up here who's confident that you could defeat one of the other teammates up here in any category? You think? Okay, so we've got some guys.
I'm about to say defense. We got this.
So Brian Schottheimer would be happy at that answer. That's good. That's good. What about rock, paper, scissors? You think you can win some rock, paper, scissors? You guys down to do a rock, paper, scissors tournament? You want to do that? Tournament? Are y'all cool with that? Do a little competition here? Here's how I'm going to have it happen. We're going to start down here. Tyler Booker, you were the first round pick. You're going to get a bye. Because we haven't
We get the bye.
I'm sorry. That's just how I decided. So we're going to start on. We're going to pair it up by two. So it'll be Tommy versus Jay, or Shamar versus Don.
You gotta go.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, that's fine.
What do you think you might know about me? I can promise you, you're probably wrong.
You want to line up here, like right across, just pair it up. So Phil will take on Tommy. And I want you to cheer as loudly as possible.
Is it the best of three?
Want to cheer?
Is it a best of three or just whoever wins?
No, it's one and done.
It's one and done?
Oh, yeah.
This show is getting a little bit off the wall.
Okay. This is one and done.
A little
Rock,
bit
paper,
to the point
scissors,
where
shoot.
I don't care
So that's
too
what
much
we do.
more about it. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the videos for today. And end it there. And hopefully y'all had a good night. Hopefully y'all stay blessed, man. I appreciate all you, even you troll ass motherfuckers. Love you guys. Y'all stay blessed. Stop running people off of the channel.